Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to share with you a subject that is both practical and delightful. A topic that touches on creativity in the kitchen and the joy of indulgence at the breakfast table. And that is how to make fluffy pancakes without using eggs, and how to create the very best pancakes right at home. For many people, pancakes are a comfort food, a dish that immediately sparks memories of cozy mornings, family gatherings, and that unmistakable smell of batter sizzling on a warm pan. Yet, for others, pancakes present a challenge, especially when eggs are not an option, whether because of dietary choices, allergies, or simply running out of eggs when the craving strikes. But here is the wonderful truth. Fluffy pancakes are not dependent on eggs alone. With the right ingredients, techniques, and understanding of how each element of the recipe contributes to texture and flavor, you can create pancakes that are every bit as tall, tender, and delicious as those made with eggs, and sometimes even better. Let us begin with the role of eggs in traditional pancake recipes, because once we understand why they are usually included, we can see how to replace them effectively. Eggs typically add structure, moisture, richness, and binding power to the batter. The yolks contribute fat, which enhances flavor and tenderness, while the whites provide protein that helps trap air and give stability to the rise. But when eggs are not available, we can mimic these qualities with clever substitution. One of the most common and effective replacements is the flaxseed or chia seed egg. By mixing 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed or chia seed with 3 tablespoons of water and letting it sit for a few minutes, you create a gel-like mixture that binds ingredients together in much the same way an egg would. It doesn't taste of seeds, but it provides the structure the batter needs. Another popular alternative is applesauce, which adds moisture and a subtle natural sweetness. About a 1/4 cup of applesauce can replace 1 egg, and it works beautifully in pancakes, especially if you enjoy a hint of fruitiness in your bite. Mashed banana can also serve as an egg replacement, lending a natural creaminess and slight banana flavor, which many people find appealing. Yogurt, whether dairy or plant-based, is another excellent option, as it provides both binding power and tanginess. Even carbonated water or soda can be used to create a lighter texture, as the bubbles add lift and fluffiness to the batter. Each substitute brings something unique, and part of the fun of cooking without eggs is discovering which one you enjoy most in your pancakes. Once you've decided on your egg substitute, the rest of the recipe follows the familiar rhythm of making pancakes from scratch. You begin with the dry ingredients: flour, baking powder, a touch of sugar, and a pinch of salt. Baking powder is particularly important in egg-free pancakes because it becomes the primary source of lift, creating those tiny air bubbles that make pancakes rise and become fluffy. Sugar not only sweetens but also helps with browning, giving that golden color we all love. Salt, though small in quantity, balances flavors and prevents the pancakes from tasting flat. Into this base you incorporate your wet ingredients, milk or a dairy-free alternative, melted butter or oil, and your chosen egg replacement. Milk provides moisture, butter or oil adds richness, and together they create a batter that, when handled gently, transforms into light and airy pancakes. The technique here is crucial. One of the most important rules of pancake making, whether with eggs or without, is not to overmix the batter. Overmixing develops too much gluten in the flour, which leads to chewy, dense pancakes rather than fluffy ones. Instead, stir just until the ingredients are combined, even if you see a few lumps. Those lumps will work themselves out during cooking, and they are far preferable to the toughness that comes from vigorous mixing. If you are using something like carbonated water as an egg replacement, add it at the very end and stir gently, preserving as many bubbles as possible, since those bubbles are your secret weapon for lift. Now, let's talk about consistency. A thick batter will naturally lead to thicker, fluffier pancakes, while a thinner batter will spread more and give you flatter pancakes. If your batter seems too runny, add a little more flour until you reach that spoon. Wrapping consistency where the batter falls in slow ribbons that mound slightly before settling. If it seems too thick, add a splash more milk to loosen it. Getting this balance right makes a big difference in the final texture. Cooking the pancakes is the stage where all your preparation pays off. The pan or griddle should be preheated to medium heat. Too hot, and the pancakes will burn on the outside before cooking through. Too low, and they will fail to rise properly and turn out pale and dry. The perfect test is to sprinkle a few drops of water on the surface. If they sizzle and evaporate steadily, you are ready to cook. Lightly grease the pan with butter or oil, but don't overdo it, as too much fat can fry the edges instead of giving you that even golden surface. Pour the batter gently, allowing it to settle into a natural round shape. Avoid spreading it with a spoon, since this can knock out air. The magic moment comes as you see bubbles forming on the surface of the pancake. Those bubbles signal that the inside is cooking and filling with air. Once the bubbles begin to pop and the edges look slightly set, it is time to flip. Flipping is best done with confidence. Slide a wide spatula fully underneath and in one smooth motion, turn the pancake. Resist the temptation to press it down, because pressing releases the air and defeats the fluffiness you worked to achieve. Let the second side cook until golden brown, then remove to a plate and cover lightly to keep warm while you cook the rest. What you will notice is that even without eggs, your pancakes rise beautifully, with a tender crumb and a moist texture. The secret lies in the leavening agents, the egg substitute you chose, and the way you treat the batter. And once you have mastered the base recipe, you can customize it endlessly. Want a healthier version? Use whole wheat flour or oat flour for added fiber and nuttiness. Want something indulgent? Stir in chocolate chips, swirl in peanut butter, or fold in blueberries for bursts of flavor. Spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, or vanilla extract elevate the aroma and taste, making your pancakes even more irresistible. And of course, no pancake discussion is complete without toppings. Pancakes are like a blank canvas, and toppings are the colors you use to paint. The classic choice, maple syrup, never disappoints, but you can also explore fresh fruit like strawberries, raspberries, or sliced bananas. A dollop of yogurt with honey adds a creamy tang, while nut butters provide richness and protein. If you want to go decadent, whipped cream, caramel sauce, or even a dusting of cocoa powder can transform your pancakes into a dessert. Worthy dish. The joy of making pancakes at home is that you get to decide exactly how they are served, customizing them for every mood and occasion. Making the best pancakes at home, especially when they are egg-free, is not only about following steps, but also about enjoying the process. There is something meditative about measuring flour, whisking ingredients, pouring batter, and watching it transform on the pan. It connects you with the tradition of cooking, a tradition that has been passed down in kitchens for generations. It also creates moments of togetherness, because pancakes are rarely eaten alone. They are shared with family, with friends, with loved ones who gather around the table, eager for that warm stack that is both simple and special. For those who love experimenting, the world of egg-free pancakes is full of discoveries. Try making them with almond milk for a nutty flavor, or coconut milk for a tropical twist. Experiment with sparkling water for an extra light texture. Add grated apple or zucchini for moisture, and a sneaky serving of fruit or vegetables. The possibilities are endless, and with each variation, you'll find new ways to enjoy pancakes without ever missing the eggs. The beauty of making pancakes from scratch, whether with eggs or without, lies in the balance of science and art. The science explains why baking powder makes bubbles, why acid reacts with base to create lift, and why gluten forms with overmixing. The art is in the intuition you develop, The feel of the batter, the timing of the flip, the pairing of flavors. When you combine both, you create pancakes that are not just food but an experience, one that delights your senses and warms your heart. Would you like me to also create a *** short thumbnail text *** version of this speech's topic, just like I did before, so it works for a YouTube-style title card?